I was thinking next I would tell them about prompting. Is does does that seem like the next logical step to teaching about Chat GPT to you, or do you suggest teaching, introducing them, to something else first? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say, give me the next. My prompting is the right next step. Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, it's not gonna let me ask. It's gonna just tell me, right? So when we're talking about prompting, it's saying why prompting is the right next step. Foundational skill, understanding how to craft effective prompts is essential for using ChatGPT successfully. It's the core interaction method. Immediate application. Teaching prompting allows your audience to start experimenting and getting meaningful results right away, which is why I went through all of that prompting instead of just cutting to the shortcut like I explained before. It sets the stage for advanced topics, which is what I was explaining before. A strong grasp of prompting makes it easier to introduce more complex ideas like role-playing, chaining prompts, and prompt engineering later. And, seeing the interaction, well, that's the prompting. Prompting, it gives me a response. I read it, I say, well, I need to know more about this and this and this. Seeing that interaction is also what empowers you to be able to just take this thing and run with it and, achieve more with it as a tool, as opposed to me I could have did a 15-minute thing and you could use it effectively, but you wouldn't have as much of an understanding in the capabilities and the functionalities and the different ways to use it. Over time, maybe you will probably learn that and figure that out. But if I'm intentional about showing you all of the different aspects of it and the ways of using it, that cuts down. That's the purpose for going through something like this. Like, condense the amount of time it takes you to be able to utilize this as an effective tool, as opposed to just fumbling around and having to discover certain things and figure out certain things and learn certain things on your own. Which, like, even now, that you can go in here and just say, hey, teach me about you, basically. If you're a truck driver, if you're not a truck driver, you're brand new, you've never been around the industry, you don't know to ask some questions. You don't have the foundation to ask certain questions. You're limited by what you can inquire, which is why I built the website, to help people understand, like editing video. If you haven't been doing it a while, you're limited as to the certain questions you can ask without a certain amount of exposure. You got to be doing it. Same thing with DJing, same thing with speaking, same thing with anything. So people want to know, some people have a negative attitude toward taking courses and stuff like that. Well, you taking someone's years of learning in that area and you condensing that time down, coaching, same thing. So that's the benefit of taking a class like this. Anyway, shall we continue? Key concepts to cover in prompting. Specificity. The more specific the prompt, the better the response. Context. How providing sufficient background improves accuracy. Iterative refinement. How to refine prompts based on initial responses. This is what I was talking about. Like, you see the prompt. We need to double click on that. We need to double click on that. Examples. Generic. Tell me about marketing. Specific. Explain 3 low-cost marketing strategies for small business. It's a big difference. Calendar. I got 10 minutes. Alternative suggestions. Wait a minute. Role assignment. Role assignment is what we were talking about earlier. Introduce the idea of asking ChatGPT to take on a specific role or perspective. And they know, okay, so when I retrieve this information, since I'm an expert in this area, then I need to retrieve information regarding this. Because if you know what I'm an expert in, you know the things that you can look up the things that I would be exposed to. So I know I need to look at it from the angle of being exposed to this. I need to look at the angle from being exposed to this. I need to look at it from an angle of being exposed to this before I give an output. That's why saying you're an expert in this, that, the other works. Alternative suggestions, if not prompting. If you want to cover something before prompting, here are other potential topics. Understanding strengths and weaknesses. Deep dive into what ChatGPT is great at and where it struggles. Ethical use of ChatGPT. Emphasize responsible and ethical interactions to set a positive framework. Understanding strengths and weaknesses. Deep dive into what GPT is great at and where it struggles. And where does it struggle? It's good at generating human-like text, provides coherent, natural sounding responses in conversation, answering questions. Great for knowledge and straightforward explanations. Creative writing, excellent for brainstorming, storytelling, poetry, and other creative tasks. Summarization, condenses long text into shorter, concise summaries. Yeah, it's excellent. Language assistance, grammar checking, text improvement, and translations. Code help, assists with writing, debugging, and explaining code in various programming languages. Idea generation, useful for brainstorming ideas in business, marketing, or problem solving. Learning aids, simplifies complex topics into beginner-friendly language. Okay, so where does GPT struggle? Accuracy of information. May confidently provide inaccurate, outdated, or incomplete answers. Niche or highly technical fields. It lacks depth and specialized knowledge outside its training data. Context over long conversation. Struggles to maintain consistency or memory of prior details in lengthy discussions. Real-time data. Cannot provide real-time information unless web browsing is enabled. Understanding ambiguity. May misinterpret vague, poorly phrased, or ambiguous prompts. Ethical challenges. Can generate biased, inappropriate, or harmful content based on its training, data, or user prompts. Emotional understanding mimics empathy, but doesn't genuinely understand emotions or the human experience. Reasoning. While good at logic, puzzles, and structured tasks, it lacks true critical thinking or problem solving like a human. It's real good at mimicking, though. Anyway, by understanding its strengths and limitations, users can harness GPT's capabilities effectively while being aware of its boundaries. Engineering. And then after this, we'll do. What's the difference between custom GPT and the regular GPT? And then I'll show you how to create a custom GPT. And then we're going to We're going to do business. Oh. Basics of prompt engineering. Definition. Crafting instructions to maximize the quality of AI responses. Importance. Clear and structured prompts yield better, more accurate results. 2. Key components of a good prompt. Specificity. Be clear and precise. For example, instead of tell me about cars, try list the top 5 fuel efficient cars of 2024. Context. Provide relevant background information to guide the response. Desired outcome. State what you want. For example, a list, a summary of, a detailed explanation. You just got to start thinking in that way. That's why I said it helps you with communication, because you actually got to think about how you need to phrase stuff, how you need to say stuff in order for your request to be accurate enough that it can interpret what it is that you actually want. Very important in a relationship as well. And just navigating business or whatever, same thing. The better you are at communicating, the better time you'll have, because people will know where you stand, what you want, what you're trying to get, what you're looking for, what you expect, all of that. 3 types of prompts. You got open-ended prompts, you got directive prompts, you got comparative prompts. Open-ended prompt encourages creative or exploratory responses. That would be like kind of like the car thing. Or because then you see like, okay, what is there to learn about cars? You see what I'm saying? But the example he gives is, what are some innovative ways to market a small business? Same thing, it's exploratory, it's research. And then you drill in from there based on what they say. What interests you? How is it relevant to the business that you're looking? Relevant to the business that you're asking that question for. Not everything's going to be relevant, depending on what kind of business it is. It could be online, it could be brick and mortar, it could be restaurant type, it could be shoes. So different things is going to apply. So anyway, directive provides clear instructions. Example, summarize the key points of this article and give me 3 bullet points from it. Comparative, ask for comparisons or rankings. Example, compare the pros and cons of renting versus buying. 4, techniques for advanced prompting. Role assignments. Specify a role for ChatGPT to assume. Example, you are a marketing expert. Provide 5 strategies for improving Instagram engagement. Chain prompts. Use a sequence of prompts to build detailed responses. That's what I explained to you before. Drill deeper. Step 1, list 5 challenges startups face. Step 2, now explain solutions for each challenge. Constraints. Set boundaries or limits for the response. Example, explain blockchain technology in under 100 words. I just did one that said less than 70 words for a description on a website. I'm probably going to show you that video. Number 5, test and refining prompts. Iterative process. Try different phasings and tweak prompts to get better results. Follow-up questions. Refine the output by asking for clarification or additional details. You've seen me do several of these just by the method that we're going through in order to teach this lesson. Error checking. Verify outputs for accuracy and refine prompts to correct errors. Prompt examples for common use cases. Brainstorming ideas, learning aid, problem solving, coding. All right, so brainstorming ideas, an example is, give me 10 ideas for a YouTube channel about fitness. Learning aid, explain quantum physics like I'm 10 years old. You always want to make sure, like especially if you're getting content to post or write based on it, you want to say, make it comprehensible by someone no older than the 8th grade. Make it comprehensible. See why? Make it so someone with an 8th grade reading level can comprehend it. You always want to put that limits on it because studies show that when it gets above that, then you start losing people in comprehension. And obviously, you want the highest percentage of people as possible to that are exposed to the information or whatever to actually be able to absorb the information and comprehend it. So that's why they said that. Problem solving suggests ways to reduce employee turnover in a small company. Coding, write a Python script to automate sending emails. Now, well, I'm not in the custom GPT. Am I? No. So if you're in a custom GPT, you want to make sure the coding is turned on if you want any downloads. Well, we ain't got to the custom GPT yet. Number 7, ethical and responsible prompting. Avoid vague or misleading queries. Stay ethical by not prompting harmful or inappropriate content. Be mindful of biases and validate critical outputs. Number 8, tools and resources for practice. Prompt libraries. Show examples of effective prompts for various use cases. Prompt templates. Provide structured formats. For example, roles plus task plus constraint. Teaching these elements will empower your audience to use ChatGPT effectively and clearly and creatively. I didn't put the question mark. Let's see what happens. Told you. Storytelling prompts. Request a narrative or creative story. Write a short story about a cat who saves his owner from a fire. Formatting prompts specifies the structure of the output. Example, create a table comparing Android and iOS features. Challenging prompts poses difficult or thought-provoking questions. Example, what are the ethical challenges of using AI in warfare? Dun, dun, dun. Debugging prompts focuses on finding errors or improving code. Example, review this Python code for errors and suggest fixes. Restrictive prompts constrains responses to specific parameters. Example, explain the benefits of meditation in under 50 words. We did that, sorry. Step-by-step explanation prompts. Request detailed breakdowns. For example, explain how solar panels work. Step by step. Tips for identifying prompts. Encourage your audience to mix and match prompts. For example, role play with step by step. Experiment to find which type works best for specific needs. Let me know if you like examples or exercises of these additional types. We already went through enough of this. Now let's see what's next. All right. Explain the difference between custom GPT and regular chat GPT. Like I'm 5. Here's a clear breakdown of the difference between custom GPTs and regular ChatGPT. Regular ChatGPT, this is the standard version of GPT available to all users. It's versatile and responds to a wide range of prompts based on its training data. Features, preset functionality, uses general purpose training data, no personalization or specific tuning to user preference. Ease of use, simple and ready to use without setup. Great for common questions, brainstorming, and creative tasks. Number 3, wide knowledge base, good for general information and common use cases, may lack nuances in niche or technical areas. 4, no personalization, responds generically without adapting to specific user needs or styles. Holy moly. Now, when we get to the custom GPT allows users to tailor the behavior tone, and functionality of the model to better suit their needs. Features. Personalized tuning. You can modify the behavior by setting custom instructions or prompts. Tailors responses to match specific roles or tasks. An example, financial advisor GPT or coding assistant GPT. Improve for niche areas. Custom setups allow it to excel in specific industries or fields where detailed knowledge or a particular tone is needed. 3. Advanced integration. Often integrated with plugins or APIs, support real-time data or perform specific tasks. Can include tools to automate processes or interact with third-party services. 4. Efficiency in workflow. Ideal for repetitive or specialized tasks, saving time by aligning responses to predefined expectations. 5. Setup required. User need to define instructions and possibly integrate additional tools, making it more complex than regular GPT. Comparison summary. Okay, that's stuff that we just went over. When to use each. Regular GPT for everyday tasks, casual use, or when you need general information quickly. Custom GPT for business, professional, or individuals needing specific repeated tasks done with precision or a unique tone. Let me know if you like more examples. I think that's pretty clear enough. Now, if you look over here to the left of the screen, you can see that I have one for a cleaning company. That's one sparkle at a time. I developed one for creating courses. I did one for helping people to define their passions and grow a business out of it. I got one for developing the idea for my travel and investing situation going on here. More customers, more clients. That's just for helping the business grow. Social media consultant. That is what it sounds like. Social media consultant. That was really born out of the one sparkle at a time because I started her from zero, the business and then social media accounts. So I did the social media GPT then. One sparkle at a time. Again, Trucking Jobs GPT. That is one that helps you to find trucking jobs based on what your particular interests are. Like, what are you looking for in the company? Because, and then it's supposed to, and I don't know, that's why I ain't really, it's supposed to go beyond the information that's just on the website. It's supposed to also check the reviews and everything, all the information that's posted about the companies to see what the real situation is with the company. I don't know if it's actually doing that or not. To make suggestions for a company that prioritize what a driver wants. That was the idea behind it. Anyway. All right. So now in my mind, I'm going to show you how to do a custom GPT, but actually, before going into that, I got to show you something else about the regular. Okay. Talk about how to personalize the regular GPT. Well, I should have said, what's the difference in personalizing it and using it? Personalizing the regular GPT without using fully custom setup involves clever use of prompts and settings. While you can't directly alter the core behavior, you can tailor interactions to suit your needs. But yeah, it don't really have to even be as deep as needs. It's your preferences, your desire, how you want the tone, how you want. All right, yeah, this is better. All right, this is better. All right, let's go. So I just showed you, this is where you will customize. Not okay, so it's two different types. All right. You can create a custom GPT. So like, as you see, I got 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. But you can also customize the regular GPT. Because unless you pay for the, well, I don't know if you can custom. Let me ask. Can free GPT users do customization? . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . think so. Yeah, within the prompt. No, I mean in settings. Now notice I don't have to repeat the entire question because it's based on the prior inquiry. While free users have limited options and settings, here's what you can access. Theme, language, conversation, updates, and notifications. So, custom instructions. Oh, is that what I was trying to say? Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Personalization. I said customize. It's custom instructions. That's the correct terminology. So on the free plan, you cannot do custom instructions. So if you need this feature, then you either have to pay to get plus, or that's where the importance of your prompt engineering comes in. Because, you can always use prompt engineering, but here on the paid version, you see, you can go in here, personalization, custom instructions. You can give the basic ChatGPT the background and about you, who you are, what you're about, what you're trying to do with ChatGPT, all that, whatever background information you want to give it, and it's going to use that as basically as training kind of to respond. And here is like how you want to respond, and again, just like everything else I said, the more detailed it is, and the more you get what you want out of it. And here you want to go ahead and check all of these so you have all the functionality that's available for you. Yeah, so that's what you're able to do with the paid plan. But then on top of that, you can also do custom GPTs like this over here. Now, the custom GPTs take precedence over the basic custom instructions that you put on the GPT Plus. What question did I have? I don't think. Can free users create custom GPTs? I don't think so. Maybe. No, we cannot. So next video, we're going to set up a custom GPT. Hey, thank y'all for watching. Comment below if you learned something, if you think it's useful information. Grade my style of teaching. Give me some feedback. It's annoying, it's interesting, it's entertaining, it's useful, it's beneficial, it's whack.